All right, welcome back, everyone. Uh, just as a recap, the Cradle deck had a fantastic weekend this past weekend, and arguably, I would say the second best weekend for Cradle and Legacy maybe ever. Just to quickly catch everyone up. Uh, it started on Friday as Chris Reinhardt, Ming Empire on the Discord, top four the SEG 1K on Friday, and that Friday as well, they featured a final with Zeno Nono, I guess, losing to I think I don't even remember what they lost to. Let's see. They lost to, it looks like, Rescaminator in the finals. But I actually think the Rescaminator matchup is good, and I'll say why. Uh, Andrea Mangucci, who has been playing the deck for roughly 2 weeks, then top eight the Impact Returns event, and he went 3 for 3, 3-0 against Rescaminator, including two feature matches, one of which against Javier Dominguez. So make sure to catch that out. Also, he, no surprise, mentioned the Cradle deck as his legacy deck of the week. So, and he has a video out in case you want to catch, an earlier version of the deck, him playing that. Also, Samatro top four the event on that Saturday evening. And then finally, two more top eights to round out the weekend on Sunday, including just a straight up challenge win by Funky Monkey. Also, the top eight, Crazy Marengo, who, as far as I know, has never played a Cradle deck. And, top eight on their first try with this deck. So let's check out the chat here. Matchup looks good aside from the Entomb Reanimate type. Yeah, that is my feel on the deck too. I think you lose to the draws where they have Entomb into Reanimate, and you don't have Endurance. Or let's just say they do have it, you have the Endurance, but sometimes they have the Daze or the Force. And we're typically not playing around days, so those are typically live. At least turns one and two. I guess in this our case it'd be turn two, right? Like, my experience is we're typically favored if we don't get Entombed. Like that's probably the scariest card. And a lot of times I see these Rescaminator players, they board out Entomb against us. And granted, while Doddy Voidwalker can be annoying, maybe they have like four or something. I personally am relieved when my opponent boards out Entomb. Now, maybe their logic is they can't win a long game anyway. Sorry, maybe their logic is that they think they can win a fair game with Voidwalker. I think they are doing us a service by doing that because I think Entomb is the scariest card personally, but everybody's experience can vary. Question here is how's Nantuko doing? I think the card is really good, and I'd play four. It's just like I don't think we need extra help against fair decks. I'm like doing the bare minimum. I think the control matchup is arguably the best it's ever been. There's an argument to be made, maybe after Top got banned, but Death Right was still legal. I don't know. Like, I was a much worse player at that time. I was pretty casual, so I think this version is better than that matchup at that time. But again, I was not as locked in, I guess, into the legacy metagame. I was just more just a casual player at the time. So, my experience is Voidwalker only typically works in games you're probably already losing, but I think Grist also shores that up a little bit, having that on the sideboard. Uh, I'll be honest, I have lost to Voidwalker, but typically that doesn't get there. Like, I'm not saying it's 0%, but it's typically when our hands are very bad. Like, I've multi 5 or something, and they kept double Voidwalker, and our hand just lines up poorly. But majority of the time, I would say I have beaten Voidwalker. It's just very strange circumstances where that actually wins. But I will digress. Also, that was usually before Nantuko. I think Nantuko makes it much harder for Voidwalker to get there. But again, the sample size against Voidwalker is pretty low, so take that for whatever that's worth. Um, my list today, I'm playing one crop rotation. I think I want to kind of get every ounce out of every seven card in the 75 I'm playing, and it gives a little bit of utility. In my previous stream, I punted the 5-0 match with two crop rotations. I just think we're kind of on people's radars now. I don't think people will necessarily play our deck because four guys Cradles is a lot to ask because it doesn't really translate to any other deck. You can play one in Maverick. Yeah, so the thing is, like, Troll is like kind of bad against us. Like, with the addition of Talon Gates, with the printing of, I guess, with the printing of Rival Reliquary, but that's kind of in the deck for a while now. But also Springheart, like you can just actually just like throw three chump blocks in terms of into it if need be. There's just a lot of ways to beat Troll without actually answering it. Um, but I do think Crop Rotation doesn't line up well against some of the hate that people may play now against us. But yeah, I just had a game I want to say like last week. I haven't played for what it's worth in 4 of the last 5 days. So I played not last night, but the night before that. But before that, I hadn't played in like 3 days because of Olympics, just because I just wanted a break. Been pretty tired lately. Also, after Saturday's results, I kind of didn't feel like I needed to play because I feel like everybody was winning with the deck, and that kind of proved to be true again on Sunday when Funky Monkey took down the challenge, right? So that was another reason, right? I didn't play Friday because I wanted to watch the opening ceremony. For those of you, I guess, following the Olympics, it's been nice to see, the women's gymnastics team win first, obviously, yesterday. I didn't really watch any of the spoilers for tonight yet, but I probably will tune in later. I don't know exactly what happened. I want to avoid Twitter to avoid the results, I guess. I guess with the women's winning yesterday, the U.S. women's, that was kind of unavoidable. I kind of already knew early on. But yeah, I digress. I don't think crowd rotation necessarily lines up well against some of the hate. Yeah, I guess some people are sick of Rescaminator. I think if you want to beat Rescaminator, but you're not taking a break, this is like one of the decks to do it. I think Painter, from what I understand, has like a decent Rescaminator matchup as well. Um, have I gotten Nantuko on Atraxa? I have, but usually that's win more. When it's not win more, it's something like against like Cloud Post, which is what the Toxic Queen is for. But let's just start, and then I'll answer questions as we go. Fiend Artisan has been cut for a long time now. I guess when I say long time, it's been over a month. So, hi, Sada Nora. I just don't think it's good anymore. Not to mention, Why the Reliquary is just a power prep version of Fiend Artisan in a way, right? It's slightly different, but the big difference, there's a couple, right? Like, and all of them are very huge. The biggest is Why the Reliquary is just way more mana efficient. So you don't need to pay mana to activate, and that is huge. Not to mention, you're getting Cradle, so you're never shut off on mana, which is one of the ways to actually beat an Artisan. We're playing against a fellow podcast member, Matt here. I don't know what he's on. So that's number one, the being mana efficient. The other thing is vigilance, especially at instant speed, which is, I guess instant speed is the number 3, right? It's just obscene. Like, it makes combat really hard for opponents, and a lot of times you just blindly attack in with right. You don't even care because what are they gonna do? Like, your white's already reasonably sized, and not to mention these shenanigans with Talon Gates. I don't think you need payoffs, and the reason why, Satanor, is because so for the quick timeline, right? I knew Talon Gates was going to be good even before just the day it got spoiled, I knew it was gonna be good. Like Reclaimer fetching it, like it's an answer. So that was the thing, right? Like I was testing Sajiri Step even before Talon Gates got released because I knew it was gonna be good. I just wanted a place for it. On the I want to say first day of release, I was actually low. I'm gonna be honest. Like on Why the Reliquary, I didn't think it was gonna be good, and I boy was I wrong. Like my first league, it wasn't apparent because I played against combo, but I played one matchup against like a bad version of Eldrazi, right? And this is like obviously people are trying to work on the Eldrazi list day one, so it's suboptimal. But I was like, I won a game where all I did was land a Wilder Reliquary, granted with one Talon Gates at the time, and Reliquary just pretty much soloed the game. And as a test, game two, I just green sun on two for white, and it really soloed the game again. Because granted, our opponent was like playing a suboptimal list at the time, but I was like, oh, maybe there's something here. And then the next day, I theory crafted it. I was like, oh, I think we can just cut Artisan. And lo and behold, that's what I did, and it just the clock is just so much faster. I don't want to get into why the Reliquary is a good card. If you play with a card in any fair matchup, it's very obvious. And I just didn't think Artisan was necessary anymore. Not to mention Lair is the payoff. There's other payoffs. It's just Lair has the lowest what's call it opportunity cost, right? Like you're not cutting on a green source. I don't like obviously Saga is better if you can get it online. It's just like the problem is Saga has a real cost, right? If you draw Saga, it's pretty awful. And then there's some other ones. The more interesting one that I haven't really tested, especially in the Nantuko build, is the okay. So I think Matt is probably in the challenge right now, and that's why he's AFK. But what was I gonna say? The yeah, so that's the thing. I just don't think you need it because the discovery of not Springheart and Kutuko, which came, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know exact. I want to say so either 2 or 3 weeks later, because I was just not very happy with Artisan personally. Like I was still playing Artisan as a two of, and I was just like, this card's always bad. Like it's too slow against combo, against fair decks. Like fair decks felt like it was too fast already. It always got killed without value. And then I tried this because I saw Upa play one in the challenge, or he told me about it. It's a card that I was interested in, to be honest, like during spoilers, but I just thought, oh, there's no room, right? Like I just don't think this is a fair card strictly almost. Well, when I say fair card, I mean good and fair matchups. That's what I mean. It's a very unfair card when it hits the field, obviously, but I don't want to really see this card for the most part against like Storm, like in most cases, right? And I tried it as a one of, and then it was decent, but granted, again, like the sample size was strange, so I ran it again through. So let me rephrase that. One of my Discord followers or Patreon followers played my exact list that I 5-0'd with. It's posted, like, there's a 5-0 list with this somewhere with one Nantuko, but long story short, one of my Discord, my Patreon followers tried this card immediately after, just copying my 75 verbatim in their LGS, and essentially came back to me and said, "Oh, this card is too good. You need to playing four." And I was like, "Interesting. Let me think about that." And it literally took like maybe 15 minutes or an hour. I don't remember exactly during the day where I was working, but just kind of like drifting off, daydreaming about this card as well and how it would play. And I was sold. Like the way I was playing it out of my head. And between four Wide of the Reliquary and potentially even up to four Nantuko, I just don't think four is necessary. My initial list ran four, but I'm down to three. I don't think many fair decks are beating that. You just have too many threats. And when I say fair, I mean unless they are playing Ancient Tomb, I don't think I'm losing the game. Like for the most part, like outside of like really bad draws, because Ancient Tomb you can get behind, right? But any like blue tempo deck or like I think I won my like last 25 matches against Delver, for instance, or tempo. I don't think that matchup feels very lopsided. And then against control, okay, Matt just tuned in, or not tuned in, but responded on chat. I think against control, your matchup is a lot better now too because you can like overextend almost. And then if you have an active Wily Reliquary, you just like Talon Gates if they sweep, right? Like it is an absolute nightmare to deal with an active Wily Reliquary. Uh, if you've played against or with it, it is kind of obvious immediately. Like I don't think anybody has ever come back to me and said, "Oh, I think you're wrong." After testing Wily Reliquary, it's not good uh, in protecting your creatures or something like that, right? Like I don't that has not happened. All right. Oops. I probably should have just fetched Bayou. I don't think Matt ever plays like a Wasteland deck, but I could be wrong. Actually, that's not true. He does play. Uh-oh. So that's another thing. I don't think he could be playing anything. And all right. I don't think he plays removal game one if he's playing that. I think or just pass, I guess. Hold up the endurance. Maybe it matters. I wouldn't expect a Vault of the Whispers deck to play removal game one, but maybe I'm wrong. Actually, no. So here, a little bit punished, I guess, maybe? Sure. It's okay. I get the endurance out earlier, which I kind of value. Okay. I think here I'm just going to shuffle this back. We have a faster clock for whatever that's worth. Oops. Let's undo that. We lose some tokens as a result, but yeah, maybe it matters. We get the extra damage from the endurance. Okay, he conceded. Interesting. Oh, maybe he just doesn't have any action. Like our hand's not great here, but we do have like somewhat of a defensive card in Talon Gates. All right. I think Force is easy to bring in. I don't really know what I'm playing against. I would guess combo, but or some aggro deck. I think I'm gonna board conservatively. What I mean by that is, I feel like Snuff probably gonna be live at some point. Maybe let's see how much room do we have. I don't think I like Crop in this matchup. Let's go with this. We didn't see many creatures. Yeah, that's true. Like I usually kind of like skew towards like some random creature, like some combo. We did see for what it's worth the Ballista main. If I were to guess, like it feels like he's gonna have some kind of nonsense combo that we're gonna try to snuff out. And then we could. I'm like hedging a little bit, obviously. Like there's no way he's playing fair, right? Nah, I don't think I can keep that. Especially what I just said about Nantuko not really being a fair card. Also, Corridor, happy to see you, on the Cradle train, your post the other day. So that makes me happy. So close. This is a land. I'm like snap keeping this. I think so too. I think it's like possibly the strongest ever been relative to meta. There's only one other time where I felt like I was way ahead of the meta. I guess there's two potentially. One was like what's it called? With the Reclaimer elves during Eternal Weekend. That one I felt like was more of a meta thing during Ragavan, because Ragavan was shutting down a lot of the harder matchups for us. So that might have been just like meta related. In terms of power level, like the first iteration of Artisan just felt like it was completely broken. Like before Initiative. Like in hindsight, those lists were so bad, but it didn't matter, right? Like people like Matt, actually, our opponent here, top ate the Legacy Pit event, just like playing a suboptimal version with like Visionary and Waterwood, which in hindsight looks like it was a mistake, right? I think here we definitely want to turn to Oof. I'm probably playing the Natural Order and the Snuff Out back. Everything else like lines towards the Collector Oof, right? That's fair, yeah. Argument to be made, we're gonna hit a land drop anyway, so we should have kept the Natural Order. I think we take the Oof, so we don't need a tutor. Yeah. So I think that the biggest difference is like the way the matchups typically feel. I don't even know what this card does. If I were to guess, it got removal up. Uh, I'll pass. Matt said GG, so I guess he just if if I were to guess, he's probably I get the impression he's preoccupied at the moment. Like this is a pretty quick concession. He didn't notice the IM at first. Like he's probably busy with like IRL stuff or something. Like I get that impression he is preoccupied at the moment. So we won, but kind of an asterisk. Um, Yeah, so I think those are pretty important, right? Like an NO bailout, like that's a lot of free wins that you're potentially giving up. And then Wasteland, I think I mentioned this like a few times before, where I think the big difference that changes the play patterns between a Maverick and it, I'm like hesitant to call this deck Cradle Control now, because people are just way too literal with that. It's an obvious joke, but maybe it's not lost on some people. But really, this is closer to a combo deck, whereas Maverick is more of a prison type deck. Now, this deck does have prison elements to it, specifically against the graveyard and against artifacts, but it's probably combo first, prison second, if that makes sense, right? Like just like show and tell is really combo first, control second. Um, but yeah, that kind of dictates the play patterns of both decks, and I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but like Maverick's definitely way more prison than the Cradle deck, obviously. So I like to call it like Cradle combo recently, just to like people are not too hung up on the name, if that makes sense. All right, that's like some bad mulligans. So that's one thing I think of our deck lately. We have more iffy opening hands because Talon Gates is not really a card I want to open with. Yeah, I would say that's probably more accurate. I think DNT, not DNT, Maverick's looking to slow the game down, and then you just like finish the game however you want, right? Um, I think Oh my god, they're on 81 cards. Heathen. Heathen, heathen. I took the Reclaimer. Maybe it's greedy. I just figured we're probably gonna hit our land drops. Okay, even better. If there any kind of fair deck and this resolves, the game is probably just over. I don't think they're a fair deck though, but who knows? I don't know why they're on 81 cards. Like, is there not enough room even with eight Yorion? Maybe they're on like Enchantress or something. I don't know, but very strange. Very dangerous. I guess it doesn't matter. They drew a card on ETB. Yeah, I would think Allurin too. That's what they're known for. Well, that is a card. We could have a really, really fast clock right now, depending what our opponent does here. I think we have lethal, but I need a count. I believe we have lethal. Okay. What are they targeting here? Okay, we're gonna do it in response. Oops. So I'm glad they fixed the phasing bug because it's relevant right now. Oh, I actually screwed up. I needed to okay, it didn't matter. Like again, first match of the day, my sequencing was really poor there. What I needed to do was Reclaimer away, get the lair first, trigger the Nantuko, and then do the opposite. Like, it didn't matter because I think the game's probably over regardless, but I'm going to lair for like a million here. But I get an extra Rather Reliquary plus an extra token if I did it correctly, which might have affected the math. I think it's still lethal, but I need a count. Alright, Allurin, usually you don't really want to kill their creatures. It's like, it's all these ETB creatures. I think Seize is good. Do we want to crop? I feel like we don't. Like, we're not really going to respect, I think, the graveyard, like, component. I think Gris is nice to have. Like, you don't know what nonsense they're going to play. Like, the reason why I added Gris back, I actually cut this card originally. The reason why I mentioned at the beginning of the screen why I add this card back is I think it lines up good against the hate that people may play against us now, given we should be on people's radars after the fantastic weekend. So it's the decision between Bog and Crop. I think I'll take Crop and just like take the action. I don't want like a Force of Vigor to be like rotting in my hand. Yeah. The Nantuko on a While the Requery is basically Splinter's twin. It depends how I think they're gonna play, but I'm keeping like two Thoughtseize. This is a question that gets asked a lot. You want to keep this? Ugh, one bad card already and one kind of shaky card. Let's mull. This is probably worse, but whatever. Yeah, it's really dumb. If you can get Nantuko on the Wild Requery, it's quite dumb. Yeah, yeah. So you could do that. I get asked that question a lot. I actually think the scariest card is Entomb. So I don't love into Thoughtseize in the matchup, but it's not the worst. It can hit the Frog if need be. A question that I get asked a lot is like, for Frog, how do you deal with it? And the answer is I frame it. How do they deal with a Reliquary? Really, right? Like, it's not us that should be concerned about Frog. It should be them that should be concerned about why the Reliquary. I think I'll get a basic because who the heck knows if they're gonna play Wasteland. But that's kind of how I see the matchup. Like, essentially, if you untap with Rather Reliquary, it's probably game over. So I don't think you need to have removal. Okay, they're gonna bounce their thing. Sure, I guess. I think here, like, are we gonna seize here? They're kind of ahead on tempo, which I don't love. It would suck to just die out of nowhere here. So we're like, yeah, let's play it safe. I think they're a Nadu deck now that I think about it. Well, actually, I don't know. Why are they playing Yorion? That's like still beside me, but sorry, not Yorion. Why are they on 81? That's the better reframing of the question. Right. The fact that they're playing Green Sun, I wonder if they are on Nadu. Oh god. Well, I did not want to see that. Okay, this is interesting. We can bash. I think we do. I'm gonna lose value without that Nunchuko, but that's okay. I don't want to have to play around instant speed nonsense. All right, take care. Glad you were able to stick around. Actually, that reminds me. Here are my socials in case people are curious. Sure. All right, that's another reason why I was happy. Another reason why I'm happy to Wow. This is pretty neat. Like it's like perfect. Exactly 7-2. All right, we didn't draw into all right, we'll get that. The Talon Gates. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Natural Order and Hierarch. The call might be just to like tick down here and just like take whatever nonsense they could have. Mm, actually, I should have took the green sun. What am I doing? What am I doing? It's not that rare. It's not that rare. What am I doing? I don't know if there was two. I guess I could have done. I already had two in hand, so for that's worth. You could. I just didn't think to do that. My line originally was to like, I like fumble that. I was gonna green sun to kill the halfling, but I think taking the natural order is fine here. They could obviously waste us, but I don't know. The way we had to sequence it was awkward, and then in hindsight, probably would have made a different play. What is going on here? Oh, okay, that's fine. They're gonna bounce the attract, so we can actually cast it again, which is funny if you think about it. They're gonna keep us off blank. Fair enough. You got to be kidding me. Let's do it this way. This is legacy, yes. I'm just trying to put a Gris into play. Argument to be made, I should have got a rather Reliquary. because I don't think they're gonna have sweepers. Yeah, argument to be made. I should have got rather well Requery. So that's a mistake on my behalf. Not to mention it can unlock my mana too. Now it's like really awkward because alright, they're gonna stick their Yorion here, presumably. And they keep Caracas up. Yeah, I might have fumbled this game by not getting the Wild Reliquary instead of the Grist. That's the other part of a Grist that I make myself causes me to make a play that I don't really maybe I shouldn't make. If I plus here, it lives, I guess. They're probably gonna bounce. This is like very awkward. Like I drew both natural order targets. Yeah, if I had gone a Riley Welker, I would have won this game a lot earlier. Now I'm like, it's weird because they drew two other wastelands and deck. I don't know. I have fundamental disagreements about how this deck should be built. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. If I animate this, do I just bash with all? Maybe not. I'll just pass. Not playing the best right now, I'll admit. If I get the Royal Requery, I probably win, and I think I should just default to that in the future. It's just really awkward because we drew both natural retards. Oh my god. They have their own natural order? Like, what are we playing against? Sure. Now we probably just lost. What are we playing against? I don't think we can win now. What is this? Don't think we can win now. Some kind of blink deck, I guess, but if they're running Philia and the natural order package, like, we're playing against a pile here. I don't think we have an out. Like, that's annoying. Maybe Cradle, but 3 of them are gone. Alright, what do they get? What is 4? Alright, yeah. I'm debating what is correct here. Are we supposed to leave in Snuff Out, or are we supposed to take Thoughtseize and take that tempo hit? It kind of feels like we're supposed to leave in Snuff Out now. Okay. I do want to see more of their deck, though. Whatever that's worth. Yeah, but we like misplayed though. I think we win a lot earlier. We had just not gone to Gris and just now that we know what we're playing against, we get the Royal Reliquary. I should have just done that from the start. Sure. We're playing against banned Zenith essentially. It's just now at the debate like, do we respect their natural order plan or no? Maybe it's like only a one of, I don't know. No, it's definitely not a one of. If they're playing that. All right. I think we want to get ahead on tempo and just put board in the snuff outs. It's a little bit more narrow though. I don't think we want Gris. I think we just want to go fast. Possible we're supposed to leave in Thoughtseize. I'm not 100% sure. The floor is lower with Snuff Out, but the ceiling is higher. Don't think we're supposed to lose that game there, but it's on me. So one awkward thing about Snuff Out, I'm sorry, Thoughtseize is on the turns where you need to go Thoughtseize plus Wild Reliquary is awkward because you only have one black like this right now. I don't think we want to ramp. I'm gonna save the Green Sun. They most certainly need to deal with a Reliquary. Do I want to go double Reclaimer? Actually, I think I want to go double cancel. Maybe yeah, double Reclaimer off the thing seems pretty good here. Oh, actually, I missed the line. I should have Green Sun and then allow myself to untap, but that's okay. Yeah. So the line was actually Green Sun for 2, and then play the Talon Gates on my own Reliquary so that they can't kill it. What is coming out here? Oh. So here, yeah, it would be much better to have a why the Reliquary, right? No, I think I'll just pass. Actually, I made a mistake. I should have bashed with the high arc because I'm not activating anyways. I missed out on 1 point of damage. Ugh, I'm gonna be mad at myself if we lose this match because I screwed up game two. Screwed up technically game three too, but is there a reason to activate right now in front of the waste? Probably not. Because we have the second reclaimer up. Oops. Probably don't want to bash here. Who knows? The people do strange things like keeping it endurance. People do strange things. That is okay with us. No value. I think here. Yeah, we don't need to. Okay, that's pretty good. Actually, hold on. I can deal not lethal, but a lot. So 3, 6, 4. Bash for 6 here. Okay, that makes it easier. Argument to be made, I should get a mortuary there actually. Just like making all kinds of mistakes left and right. Not sure it matters, but it could. So we draw something good here, it didn't matter. Okay, it didn't matter. We get 7. I guess we just go for lethal, right? The reason to go to 7 there is so we can keep up the Reclaimer activation. So maybe that's better. Yeah, okay. No, crisis averted, right? We almost threw this game with like our 20-point punts. All right. I'm gonna take a quick break. We are playing super sloppy right now. All right, that was not the best play by me. Doing everything I could to lose that match. Let's try to tighten up a little bit. Here's my list. It is very close to what I played last week. The difference is I went down to 1 crop rotation and added the Gris because I think Gris lines up well against the hate against our deck that I'm anticipating, whereas crop rotation actually lines up poorly against some of the hate. So I think we can hedge there. I have to still brainstorm. I don't know what direction to take this deck as of yet, or as of right now, because it feels very good in the metagame. The only weakness that I think the deck kind of has is it is a little soft, or a lot of soft, to spell-based combo. Alright, and he's usually on like Rescaminator. How do I want to do this? Do I want to fetch? I think I want it once first. I think we want to just hit land drops. Also, in the event our opponent has Stifle, we have a second land here, right? Interesting. That is a very convenient hit for our opponent, right? That nice old Entomb. We got a free Entomb there. I think here we have to land a Reclaimer. That's not bad as well. Now the decision is a little tougher because I want to just like slap down yeah, this is safe. 2 layers of protection. Oh, that's really good. Okay, I'll keep. What do we want to do here? Do I want a Reclaimer or do I want a Wild Reliquary? I think I want to be able to beat Daze too. Let me think about that. Yeah, let's go for the high power play here. Okay, they forced that. That's okay. Oh, they're gonna dismember. Interesting. Interesting that they main deck dismember. Maybe it's for the mirror. Mm, this resolves is probably over. They must have a removal spell, right? Because oh, interesting. Oh, dodged a bullet. Dodged a bullet. Okay, that's fine. I think we play this as a creature here. Cast. So we have Bog online. It's probably just over now. Yeah. All right. That played out pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Doesn't have perfect mapping against Rescaminator, but I guess I don't respect him enough to. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think, for what it's worth, I think if Grief gets banned, I'm not sure much changes personally. I think it will change some. I do think the deck will still be very good, and the decks that were weak against it will still be weak against it. I think something else needs to go personally. I don't mind Grief going. I think Bowmasters is obviously the wrong card to ban. I think Frog likely needs to go too, because I think it will. There's a high chance it gets banned at some point, but if they only ban Grief, I'm okay with that. I do think something needs to change because morale is kind of low, if nothing else. What am I getting here? I actually think Bayou. Because I want to double spell next turn. I want to go Seize into Reliquary. I'm taking a chance. Like, they have only 4 entombs. Like, I'm going to take the chance that they don't have a kill here. Sure. I'm not sure I care, to be honest. Alright, let's protect the Reliquary. Borrower explosives. What do I think I take the bar. Well, it's kind of annoying actually. I think an animate did that. Otherwise, they can just bounce the Reliquary. I don't want to play that kind of game. Yeah, let's. Ugh, that's annoying. Yeah, let's do that. I think the line here. Oops. Oh, I screwed that up. Now I can't play the Reliquary. Oh my god, that is a bad. Oh, I like punted this game. Alright, I'm mad at myself. Got distracted and punted this game. So the thing is, like, this is huge because now the Reliquaries are turned late, and that means 2 extra cards for the Psychic Frog. Through this game. I gave my opponent an extra card, and it's probably going to matter now. Especially if they draw into the removal. Just very mad at myself. Like, usually we can keep... Okay. That now it's like super bad. So we like the ultimate punish, right? Oh my god, just super punished. That's not what we need right now. I guess we would have fogged the frog anyways. Maybe it would have been fine. I don't know. Yes, I think. Let me think about what I want to do here. Actually, let's do it now. Oh, okay, they're gonna kill the Reliquary. I should have done it before so I get the extra token, but they messed up too for whatever that's worth. It's on 2. If I phase that out, should we just like attack all? I think that might be the play. That's 6. So they pop it now, the frog can't block. Well, they can declare blocks first, I guess. I messed up. I should have phased that out. Mm, yeah, I screwed this up big time. If I phase out the other thing, I win. And now I lose for no reason. All right, I can't. I need to stop playing so poorly. I realized it as I was, but then it was before they could declare attacks. That's one thing about this deck. It is not very forgiving. I had the match won and then just like brain farted there, and it was too late to like undo. I should have won that game easily, even though they had the Entomb. But I guess this is better content, right? Our opponent has disconnected. Maybe their internet went dead or something. I'll get water in the meantime. Our opponent's double queuing. Actually, that's what it is. Our hand's good though. For what it's worth, our opponent also misplayed. They should have popped the E. Well, yeah, they should have popped the EE earlier instead of giving us a token. Let's see how much more our deck can. I mean, they were dead anyways. If we played it correctly, Lila Goyev. Like, I punted the game by not activating Rather Requery for the second Talon Gates. So I'm not sure what you're getting at. Opponent might have just conceded here. They're double queuing, so it's highly possible that they're just gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do, but maybe they come back. I've like played pretty awfully so far. Like multiple punts against Otaba, and then the punt here that I caught, but it's like too late to change, right? I even had the lethal online. I don't know why I just like didn't activate Wild Reliquary there and allow them to declare blocks. Maybe their line was just they need me to screw up. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong on that. They needed me like to F up multiple ways there, which I did. To be honest, I'm not even sure they played to that out. Maybe they did. Maybe I'm not giving my opponent enough credit. I think they just left it up just to represent like some other thing, like Bowmasters or whatnot. Bowmasters would have been interesting because then they can chump too, and they still live, I guess. Yeah. All right, let's just try to screw this up a second time. Gotta play tighter. I think here we're just flooding the board. That one is very interesting. I should have actually lived with higher for the more mana. That was that's a slight mistake by me. Okay. The question here is like, do I even care? I guess I just get the value, right? They go for the reanimate line. And I'll take their other creature, I guess. So they don't have pressure. Might be just over. Oh my god. This is the second line of protection, I guess. There's little reason to attack here, because then I can play through Wasteland or removal into reanimate, but I think we just take it. Yeah, it's possible I just hold it back there. All right, so that line is gone now. They would have to have like running perfects for what it's worth. I think that. Okay. Just I guess mono bombs this game. There's little reason to do it right now, I think. This is like very lopsided. No harm done. I guess I still got it. Like, let's take a quick restroom break, and I'll be back. All right, let's see if we can finish the last two matches and not, play sloppily. I think we win that second game easily. Like I said, if I got the Reliquary on time. So I'm not gonna fall for that anymore. DNS solver. Curtis is here with his shenanigans. What are we to say? 3-0. Punted badly actually in the two wins that we had. It didn't matter. Deck carried. Should be 6-0 right now, to be honest. I'm like playing horribly right now. Hopefully it's not contagious. I would actually love to pair into Eldrazi right now, just to see how we measure up. I think the matchup is not favored game one because we have some dead endurances in Bog. Post board, I like our odds. You draw snuff out, you probably just win. Spy man, they're usually a depths player, I think. Ugh. It's kind of slow. No ramp. I think we can do better. I guess this constitutes as better. Still not great. The reason I'm fetching the Hierarch here is because I don't have any black sources otherwise, and I'm on the play. And we do have the rotation if need be to color fix. I think we do it this way. Just pass. Oh, they're on lands. Ugh. Or maybe some version of it? What the hell is going on? Sure. This is gonna be fun. I think we just get another Cradle. And just do that. Interesting. Interesting. So question is like, what do we want to copy? The endurance or the hierarch? I think the answer is endurance. And just try to go wide. Flooded on explorations here. Okay. Interesting. I think we want to dig here. Ooh, that's actually decent too. So 4, 5. We're a little short, but we'll probably get there in the next turn. Presumably they get staged, right? It's gotta be. Well, who knows? They're fairly behind, I think. Okay, there's the stage. They could tabernacle us right now. That would be really very annoying. Actually, hold on. Sure. I don't think they have the Sajiri, but maybe I'm wrong. This is lethal already. Very strange. I don't understand. It almost seemed like exploration was bad for them there. Anyways, I don't know what they're on, to be honest. Like they're playing flagstones in exploration. I would, I don't know. I don't think Nantuko is probably good in this matchup. I wonder if they're like green white depths and just happen to be playing exploration. Doesn't seem great to me, honestly. I don't know. I have to guess now, like what they're on, right? Like, are they on? Actually, the fact that they're on, I take that back. The fact that they're on flagstones, I think they're probably on the full set of reclaimers. So if we assume that, and they're just like well, yeah, it's very strange. I'm just gonna assume that they're on creatures. Did they play swords? They played Saga too. That's the other weird thing. Maybe Flagstone is just a one-off. All right, let's just hedge towards lands, I guess. Toxic Cream's probably good. If they're on lands, Force is probably good. We did see the one thing, so that's probably fine. Are we gonna hedge against the creatures? Nah. It's good enough. If nothing else, at least endurance is a creature, right? If they're somehow not, if they're on lands instead of depths, and I think we guessed correctly. Mox Diamond, okay. Maybe a loam here. Ugh. I think we have to. It's annoying. And then I think we have to. I think we're gonna have to bog them here, otherwise we're gonna lose the exploration. There's a chance that their hand just does nothing now. And they just like went all in on the turn one, like trying to be explosive. I wish I could bin that. Mm. We need a force of vigor badly here. That's not it. That is not it. Uh, I don't feel horrible about this game for what it's worth. Hmm. We don't have our collector oof. The scary card would be if they got like. The scary card would be if they got blast zone, but I don't think we can play around that. I think I feel okay about our chances here. From this point on, if they get needle. We have the reclaimer. I think that's fine. Like I don't think we mind playing this construct kind of game. Ugh, I don't want to see that though. I think we want the thing regardless. Actually, maybe reclaimer can go here because They're gonna waste us, and then this still allows us to play Magic, right? Yeah, that doesn't pay for itself. They're gonna waste us. So that's gonna get wasted. Sure. And we still have mana. That's actually a good draw. Interesting that they didn't pop the Soul Guide. I don't think they're gonna win this kind of race. Ooh, okay. That's not what I wanted to see. Okay. Argument to be made, actually, that actually, I think I have lethal. They're gonna waste me here. If I pay for everything, they can bog me, I guess. Let's just go for the kill and not think about it. Yeah, I just have lethal here. Yeah. Hey 019, how's it going? Alright, that was easy. I think our opponent had a flawed game plan. I think in hindsight, also, maybe I let that. Maybe I was supposed to give my opponent the two lands from the loam in the beginning. That's the play I questioned because I went turn one crop rot. It's a lot better, obviously, if I get to ramp myself. And the cards that they put back were fetch lands, so not the end of the world. I think we definitely deal with the loam, but maybe we just save the endurance and save the crop rot. Guess that's why you play two talent gates. That's one of the reasons. Hey, how's it going, Jason? My play has been far from optimal. I think if I played correctly, we'd be 4-0, 8-0 right now. I'd like drop games where I shouldn't have, but the deck is feeling good. I'm like very in danger of losing games though because of how sloppy I've been. I do think there's merit that turn one. I don't need to pitch endurance when they have loam and exploration. I think maybe we allow that and they can have the two lands, so to speak, right? Like it was neither saga. It was like fetch land and I forget what the other one was. But I think that's the only decision I would probably change. And then the minute they went into the saga game plan, I felt we were favored because that typically doesn't get there against us. Especially this version of the list, right? Like this like is combat supreme. It's hard to beat this in combat. The other reason why we don't play Echoing Deeps was on full display there, right? Like, there's no way with Reliquary to get the deeps into the graveyard. Otherwise, we would have the utility of copying a bog if we needed, but neither here nor there. Also, crop rotation is one of the premium cards in the matchup, and to waste that early is kind of bad too. All right, we're gonna play for the 5-0 now. We probably didn't deserve it to be honest, given how sloppy we played, but. Um, I don't think so as far as I've seen. The thing is like the green white depths deck has been built the way it has because you're always pitching lands. And I don't know if there's enough creatures for that deck, right? Like you obviously can play something like Bowmasters or whatnot, but I'm not sure that's the best way to build. Maybe it's good enough, I don't know, but I don't think that's the best way to build depths. Only because the requirement of this card is like you need to have creatures, and it just so happens to slot in this deck really nicely because you have creatures to pitch, and the lands you tutor are relevant, and the lands you add, the opportunity cost is low because you already play Reclaimer. Uh, Maybe you can do it with white, but I'm just not sure because I've thought about that actually. Like, what if you have a lot of creatures and then you have the whole depth package, right? The question you ask yourself is like, is that better than natural order? If you're, and then I would guess no because you're already in green. I can see it in GAC. That would be interesting, I think, right? Like a Reliquary, Stitcher's obviously gross in that kind of deck. Um, and then you're already playing depths. But yeah, the question is like if you're already playing small creatures, it's just like is depths better than natural order? Because you go from a one card combo to two, and I would guess not. I think in GAC it makes a lot of sense, right? Because you play a lot of creatures. You're already playing the tutorable lands, namely the depths in the stage. I think that makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, we're playing against Parker here, who's been on his I forgot what he called it, but the okay, this is like a mode of 5 already because of the town gates, but the Shrimp Shack whatever deck. Shrimp Shacks, excuse me. So I'm just letting him know I'm playing for the 5-0 at the moment. If he wants to catch it afterwards. Okay, he just mentioned he's 3-0. Tamio. Normally this card is not like very good against me. It's a little bit more annoying in this deck because they have Bowmasters to kind of protect it. I put the basic there. Heuristically, I would fetch first because I want to grow Reclaimer. But the dynamic is very different now because I want to save my fetch lands for Mortuary. or just to like hardcast white if I need to fetch a second Bayou. Also, it's also different because of the landfall now with Springheart Nuntuko. Like this card out of blue red, I'm not very scared at all. Out of this deck, a little scarier because it's a little more protected if they flip it her. I suspect our line here is probably so planning ahead, right? Like, do you want to play Endurance or do you want to play Green Sun for 2? Ooh, they flip her. Okay. I don't remember if that deck plays Murktide. I feel like it does. I don't know. It feels like I need a nuke here, though. Okay, I'm just drawing all my basics, unfortunately. They likely have removal. Endurances can pressure, and I think if they replay removal, I'd rather save the Green Sun. So I'll just do that, and then argument whether to main. I think I main phase this here. Play around the brainstorm into days or clue token into days. Yeah. If they want to tick down and draw, I think we're okay with that. I think I'd rather play it safe. I feel favor this kind of matchup. I don't want to give away games if I don't need to. Okay, there's the Bowmasters, which is annoying, but... So the other reason why in post-board games to save the Green Sun is in the event you can't beat the Tamio, you can at least... what is it called? You can at least tutor for Grist. I think it might be problematic here, though. Alright, they're just chump blocking. This is kind of annoying. I think we might lose the Tamio flip. The way we described, right? 2 Bowmasters. I'm going to run into days here. I don't think we can play around it. The Collective doesn't do enough damage. And if we untap with white, we can clear the Bowmasters. Okay. So they need a removal spell. Alright, we're probably just dead now. Yeah. I don't think we can win if they ultimate here. That was kind of unfortunate, right? Turn 2 flip. I don't foresee winning this. I guess we can play it, try to play it out. I can't imagine it ends well. Has anybody actually beat Tamio Ultimate? I'm just curious. I haven't, but it also hasn't happened that often against me. I think it's happened to me like 3 times total, maybe. And kind of all out of this kind of deck. I know, right? Hey, Ramari, how's it going? We're playing for the 5-0, but we're going to be down a game. Sure. Oh, hopefully that means you saw my horrible play earlier, Romario. That means you saw my horrible. All right. The minute anybody says concede, I will concede. I don't think we're beating this. That's, all right. I'll concede myself, right? It's like when they say, "Oh, anybody upvotes this or likes this," and then you do it yourself. All right. I don't think we need hoof in this matchup. The grist is gonna help. And I like the fourth endurance. I don't think I like anything else. It's kind of brutal. The thing is, like we said, we can tutor for grist. We didn't even get there, right? Like we only have 3 mana. Excuse me. This might be the second week in a row we're gonna lose the 5-0 in the last match. Last week was particularly brutal because we literally threw the match on the last play of the game. That we probably win otherwise. So hopefully no repeat of that. It was kind of brutal, right? Like they were on the play with kind of the hand that we can't defend against. Like turn 2 flip is kind of brutal. I've had Tamio connect like 5 times against me and won before, but different game, right? They're spending mana to draw. Maybe they push here. Sure. Ideal draw here, I think, would be Requery. That's not the worst. So a rule of thumb with this deck is you typically want to double spell or even triple spell on turn 2. I don't. There's an argument to be made. Maybe we're supposed to go up. Actually, yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna what's it call it? Ramp again. Maybe, I don't think they daze this, but I don't know. Just like unlock our mana, right? That's typically what I do against these tempo decks. Alright. They probably killed a Hierarch. We have untapped Reclaimer though, that's good. With mana. Alright, I think we fetch here. And just like hold up both Reclaimer activations. We have a big next turn if possible. Sure. This is the play patterns I'm talking about. That's kind of like annoying. Like the fog blocks, which is why Grist I think like helps against this kind of matchup. You don't actually need to connect. Sure. There's no need to have our thing die for no reason here. Even better, I guess. That might draw up force. Yep. Okay. We could get a Gris, I think, which is like really good in this kind of matchup. We didn't. Well, I guess it didn't matter. I'm saying. There's no reason to attack here. Again, there's an argument to be made. Maybe we're supposed to just get Wily Requery every time, but I don't want to be under this duress of having to answer a flip Tameo for no reason, like backed by these chump blocks. So that's kind of annoying, right? Like, we could have held up. Actually, maybe that's more reason to get the rather oil query there, right? We could have held up a reclaimer activation. And then instead we got a little bit punished. Do I? Actually, I want to kill the token. Yeah, so maybe that's a misplay. The thing though is like our opponent could just wasteland us, and actually, then they could force the removal then through that way by cutting us off 1 mana, right? They lose their wasteland, but maybe that's worth it. I think we're gonna lose this game because of our decision earlier. That's the vibe I'm getting. Ugh. No, I don't think so. I think the board presence is more important. Also, like we don't care anymore at this point. Like they have two tokens, so I think the goal is just to get ahead on board. Hey Mike, how's it going? Why didn't they attack? Sure. I made one judgment call earlier, getting a grist instead of a wild reliquary. It might have just cost me the game. Do we care? Like the same thing, right? Probably not. Ugh, I didn't want to bin that. One of these days, I'm gonna have to invigorate. One of these days. I think we gotta fetch. Actually, yeah, I think we gotta fetch. Feels like they have bowmasters or something on the other side. They probably have removal. Argument to be made there. We're supposed to hold a reclaimer. Maybe I'm not. I'm just like too many mistakes. It's probably just gonna catch up to me now. I'm getting super punished for my plays now. Yeah, I think the moral of the story is with the stream, when in doubt, just get Wild Reliquary. Like this thing is not doing anything. We would have won a long time ago if I just tutored the Reliquary. Actually, let's not do it that way. Yeah, I thought this would be good against the Tamio. I guess we learned something like, oh my god, why are they? I don't understand. I don't expect people to keep an endurance, and they do. Yeah, like I said, I think lesson learned, right? Like I got too cute in this matchup, thinking Gris is gonna be good. The more of the story, just get Wily Reliquary. Just we would have won a long time ago. Because the thing is, like all the removal was shut off too. And I bet you the ultimate punish here is we're gonna get dazed. Okay, force. Yeah, I thought I would need it, but like it's been pretty bad today, to be honest. Like it's there to like kill a Void Walker or something random in case I need to, but maybe I just don't need it. It's felt pretty bad. Sure. I don't think we care. Well, at least we learned something. I could replace the grist with a mind break trap, right? Just for Mike. I was telling Mike earlier, like I don't, I'm not really afraid of any fair deck, and game one we lost legitimately. I think if I played this, if I got the Wild Reliquary, I think we would have won, like I said, a lot earlier. Which is F6. And like don't mess around. Like it's funny because Gris was like so good pre Modern Horizons 3, and I'm just not sure it's good anymore. Like it looked pretty bad today. In the two times we drew it, right? Oh, that's not bad. Ugh. Ah. The problem with Gris is it doesn't demand a answer immediately now, right? Like our opponent here just sat back and just like took their time and drew cards. Like we need them to feel under pressure. And Gris doesn't do that. Like I think I'm finished with Gris after this league. Like it literally cost me the 5-0 here. Granted, we would have to win game three, but like the way it played out was Gris is supposed to answer Tamio potentially, and our opponent just sat on the Tamio and just drew cards. I think we need to run away with the game immediately with a Wild Reliquary, and I think we can go ahead and free up this slot. The other mistake that I made probably was yeah. We were our strategy was flawed. Uh, our game plan was flawed strategically because we're giving our opponent time by getting the Gris. It's probably just game. I don't think there's an out. Because they can just recur. Like, we're just too far behind. Like, they got to play a slower game because we rewarded that. Hmm. Actually, I should have attacked first. That was a mistake. Actually, actually that was a bigger mistake because I can't kill the thing. All right, we're just dead. All right, the Gris was pretty awful. I think with that said, I'm pretty happy with the testing though. I think it's convinced me that I don't need Gris in this list, which I didn't really want to play anyways. But it just looked terrible there. What else? So we'll be trying to figure out what's gonna go in that slot. No, like look how bad it was there. Like how do you tutor your 4-drop right with Green Sun and lose the game? Like the idea is if you untap, you're supposed to win the game, and we just like the game was never close. Like this is just a dead card. So maybe this needs to be something else, but it looked really bad there, right? Like I guarantee you, if we tutor Wily Reliquary there, we win the game. Like us because we would also have 1 mana extra to untap. Our opponent would have to waste their wasteland and then go double removal into it, or one removal into it. I guess maybe that's. But I mean, I don't think we need. I don't think we need help in fair matches. Like I'm very confident we would have won that game there if we had just tutored for the Wily Reliquary. Or our opponent would be down the wasteland, right? Which then it becomes a game. But I'll think about what goes in this slot. I it just when you tutor the tutor target that you intend for and you lose, it just means this is not probably not good enough, right? All right. Let's see. Who am I gonna raid right now? We are gonna raid my boy, Final Noob, Jonathan Zhang. It does. I just don't think we're losing fair matchups. Like assuming type play, right? Like I rather just beat like I don't know Storm Combo or something like that, where the matchup's not great. All right, let's go ahead and raid my boy. I think it's fine. I don't mind it. I don't think I need it, but I think it's fine if you want more like margin.